bring Faf du Plessis in, mate. Yeah, Faf du Plessis just got 100 and pretty good form, Bernie.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show, which is proudly brought to you by Retrovision, ESA Sport and Everlast Sports Drinks. If you're a cricket fan, if you're a sports fan, if you're Australian, you'd know that over the last few days or so, Friday night, I believe it was, the cricket world and Australia was rocked with the news that the King, Shane Keith Warne, passed away suddenly and tragically at the age of 52. If you're listening to this, you're watching this, I'd struggle to say that the man, the King, Shane Warne, didn't have some sort of effect or some sort of influence on your life. He transcended the game. He was, to me, he's arguably the best player that's ever walked the earth. I know there's a good argument for a few other players, no doubt. You can go back as far as the Don, you can go back to W.G. Grace, you could probably go back to Fred Spofforth and stuff like that, and then you could go Brian Lara, Tendulkar, Jacques Kallis, A.B. de Villiers. Yeah, they're all amazing, but nobody, and I'll argue this till the day that I don't draw any more breath. Nobody influenced the game as much as S.K. Warne. From the moment he stepped onto a cricket field, wearing the Australian baggy green, Raw didn't deserve to play at that stage, and he'd be the first to admit it. To the last ball he bowled, he took us all for a ride. He took us all for one hell of a roller coaster ride. And there are just so many cricket memories we can go over, and it might be another show, it might be another time. I probably will, and whether anyone listens to it, I don't know. But what I do know is Shane Keith Warne had a huge role in my journey in this game. As a cricketer myself, I mean I'm only 5 years younger than he was, but he had a big role in the way I played. I've got no shame in saying that. I'm not the only one. I wanted to be Shane Warne. I bowled leg spin. I pretty much modelled my action at the time on him. I tried to look like him. I had the bleach blonde hair going. I had the gold earring. I had the Nike shoes. I had the wristbands. I had the 3/4 sleeves. Everything. And he was one of my cricketing heroes and someone that I emulated and tried to be. Again, I'm not the only one, and I'm sure there's many others. How many spin bowlers started walking in to bowl from when they saw Shane Warne do it? How many pace bowlers become a spinner? How many off spinners decide, no, I want to bowl leg spin? The strange thing is that we haven't really produced anyone vaguely close to Shane Warne, and let's be honest, he's probably the greatest bowler that's ever lived. Now I know there's arguments to go Glenn McGrath. There's Murali's obviously got more wickets, but I don't think anyone influenced the game as much as Shane Warne did. He won many games on his own. You think about, the 2005 Ashes series, very emotional interviews with Michael Vaughan, for instance, who become very close with Shane in the commentary box over the last few years, and he openly admits that if Shane Warne didn't play in that 2005 Ashes series, and who can forget that? That's arguably one of the greatest Test series of all time, Australia would have lost 4-1. The man had, well publicised issues off the ground, and if you haven't watched the Shane Warne documentary, which it's just it's weird that he's gone because that's just been released really, and I'd watch it. There's nothing in it that's really probably going to shock you or surprise you. He lived his life in the open. He lived his life in our world, our lives. Had no regret. Oh, he probably had regrets, but he didn't need to. He lived the life that we all wanted to live. He's honest. He owned everything. And it's amazing how many people have come out and expressed how generous he was. And yes, he's a very, very wealthy man, and I hope that his kids are now going to be able to, I guess, inherit, that wealth, and they can live happily. Because if you learnt anything over the last few days, he doted on his kids. He loved them. He realised that he missed a lot of their lives, and he was doing everything he could to make up for it. But this little segment, I called it "The King and I," because he's been a huge influence in my life. And again, I'm not the only one, but it's just a real numb feeling at the moment, and I'm grieving as much as anyone else is, really. I mean, his family would be grieving 1,000 times more, no doubt, but it's going to be a hell of a loss, and we've lost one of the greatest gifts to this game ever. I can't undersell that. I can't say that with any more oomph. I mean, he was the greatest thing that's been given to this game, and we're all the worse for it now that he's gone. So I guess the best we can do is reminisce on the many good times he gave us, from announcing himself with that ball to, like I said, the 2005 Ashes series, to 2007 when he retired, to take his 700th. I was at the MCG when he took that, when he bowled Andrew Strauss. It's a typical Boxing Day, really, freezing cold. For those that have ventured to Melbourne, so many Boxing Days are cold. Who knows why? But it was an amazing day, and it's something that'll live in my memory for the rest of my life, no doubt. So I just wanted to start the show, and I think it would have been remiss of me to not discuss the great man, the king. He'll forever be the king. And if you're wondering why, go and ask Dr. Google. Go and sit on Google. Go sit on YouTube. Just bring up Shane Warne. You'll see. I can't imagine how many videos there are of Shane Warne. One of his final playing ones, he was playing for the Stars, and he had when the bowlers used to talk through. If you remember, McGrath was playing, and Warne played, and Hayden played at the start of the Big Bash, and he was mic'd up and he was bowling to Brendan McCullum, obviously no mug. And he told us how he was going to get him out. And he spoke the over, and he got him out exactly the way he said he was going to do it. And you just think, how good are you? How good can you be? Now, I've bowled leg spin for a while, and I reckon I'm okay at it. I can land most of them. I can pretty much know where they're going to go and all that sort of stuff. But he could do it. He could put it on a 1 cent piece and bowl a leg spinner, a top spinner, a slider, a flipper. He could bowl them all and land them all over and over again. That's why he was the greatest. That's why he's the king. His off-field stuff is famous, and we're only going to learn more and more about it. But there's no greater cricketer, no greater sportsman, I think, in Australia. And no one has influenced the landscape as much as Shane Keith Ward. So rest in peace, King. Rest in peace. We'll be back after this. Okay, everyone, welcome back to the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show. As I mentioned earlier, proudly supported by our fantastic partners who backed us in all the way this season. Retrovision, you know Retrovision, I've told you all about them. 60-day price guarantee basically means that the price you've bought your camera, TV, computer, whatever, you won't see a better price than that price that you bought it at for 60 days. They guarantee that. So it's not going to go on sale. And if it does, they'll fix you up. Also, they know everything about their products. They're experts in the field, so you'd be crazy not to go to Retrovision. Everlast Sports Drinks have backed us in all season. Fantastic product. Isotonic drinks there to help rehydrate you. End of the day, the science basically says that your body needs something other than water to rehydrate. Water takes a hell of a long time to work. This stuff actually makes it work a hell of a lot better. So Everlast Sports Drinks, get on the lemon zest. As I've told you all year, that's the stuff. I know it's the back end of the season, but maybe you want to plan for next season. Who knows? Johnny Sanders, that's his number there. And speaking of Johnny Sanders, look that way, ESA Sport. Make every sporting moment memorable. Apparel, coaching, the Everlast Sports Drinks, memorabilia, sports star appearances, and many, many other sports services. So if you need anything sport, before you go anywhere else, go chat to our man Johnny Sanders at ESA Sport. Contact details are there. Well, it is now the business end of the season, isn't it? We are in the finals. Finals time for the Peel Cricket Association season 21-22. I still remember round one, and it seems like it wasn't that long ago, and we are in March. We are in, well, not quite the middle of March, but we are in the first week of the finals. A through to F are in their first semi-final or the semi-final rounds of the season, whilst the ladies in the Beyond Bank T20 Ladies League, they are in grand final mode. We will have two teams that have got through to the grand final. I'll have a little chat about that a little bit later on, but they are in grand final mode. So if you've got nothing else to do on Sunday, you can't go to the ground. COVID regulations say that only players and I guess in seniors, it'd be a partner or maybe your kids. I can't imagine anyone else is allowed to go. But I do know that that game will be live streamed, and I'll give you some details on that a bit later on. But basically, we are in finals time. Last week, we spoke about the Retrovision Premier T20 League Grand Final, and that was run and won by Shoalwater Bay Cricket Club in a fantastic effort against the highly fancied Hall's Head. That was a great game, and it was a great season, a great advert for this fantastic competition and cricket in this region. And I've got no doubt in my mind that the finals are going to really set a high bar, set a great standard, and it is going to be the best who will win the coveted trophy at the end, be it whatever grade. There's no doubt that the best team will be the ones that are left standing at the end. Because if you can get through the semis and if you can get this far and you get all the way through, well, you're a deserving winner. There's no such thing as a lucky winner. I don't know, unless there's a rain result or something like that. But essentially, if you're the last team standing, you're the best in the comp. Whether you finish fourth, whether you finish top, it doesn't really matter. I've always thought you've only got to get to the finals, and then from there it's anyone's game. So to all those teams that are in, good luck. Congratulations, and may the best team win. Okay, we're going to go into a little preview. I think that's the best way to go because we've got no result to talk about because we all had a week off last week. So, finals, Wiley Cup, A grade. And this is where it's going to really be a big ding-dong to see who are going to be the Wiley Cup holders for season 21-22. Now, the defending champs, Singleton Irwinians, they are in. They scraped in by the skin of their teeth. And they will be playing at Warnbro in the second semi-final at Curry Street on Saturday. Now, Warnbro have just quietly gone about their business and have really hit probably peak form for them in the last couple of rounds, and they've really stamped their authority, and they owned third. They, if they made their run a little bit earlier, who knows? They might have pushed up into second, but they've been there or thereabouts the whole season. They've been led, but it's been a pretty much a team effort across the board. I mean, the main man, and he's had an outstanding season, and it's no surprise, is it? The man Dane Ugle, he's a star. He's an absolute star. He's made a lot of runs. He's taken a fair chunk of wickets. He's been the main man, and he's led Warnbro through to this stage, no doubt. But he's had a lot of support. Skipper Kane Standings chipped in with 400 odd runs, and obviously he's the wicketkeeper there. Kieran Ugle Jr. started the season like a house on fire, and then sort of tapered off a little bit, and then sort of picked it up. But he's been steady throughout. Hayden Cowan's had a great season. Let me get that right, because I always get those two wrong, and I want to make sure I get that right. So just give me 2 seconds. Sorry about that, people. It's been Mitch Cowan. Mitch Cowan's had an outstanding season. 294 runs and 35 wickets. That's a fantastic all-round season. We've had Sam Leash get, over 300 runs. And, even Daniel Sutton's got 17 wickets. So it's been a real sort of team effort, but led, no doubt, by Dane Ugle. 782 runs and 28 wickets. Now, that is a hell of a season. So, and he's still got more to go, no doubt. So they're going to go in with some really, really good form. And if we go to Singleton Irwinians, look, they've been up and down. They started the season well. They really took a hit in the middle. Availability's been a real big challenge for the team. And I don't think they've had the same team twice this season. They've had a number of players come in and out. So I don't know what the team will look like this week, but their standouts have been, Tim Hutchison's had an amazing season. I mean, this includes some of his other games, be it for representative games for Peel and Country 11 and things, but he's got, 440 odd runs, and he's taken 52 wickets. So he's really put a big effort with the ball this season. That's been a real big focus of his, and he's been one of the main bowlers. 52 wickets at 10. That's a fantastic effort for an off spinner. This year's skipper, Brad Ranford, he's had 280 runs and 15 wickets, a solid all-round season. Mitch Shallum, wicketkeeper, 360 odd runs. Josh Senior, 260 odd runs and 12 wickets. And then we go through to the coach, Chris Loveridge, 15 wickets. He's had a solid season. Very impressed with this young man, Callan Sprigg, 36 wickets and 225 runs. That obviously includes some junior cricket, but he's had a very, very good start to his senior career. The man here, Jay Boyd, I know, I've seen some posts of his as a leg spinner. He had to have been influenced by the great man. He's taken 22 wickets this year, takes wickets all the time. So, they've had players that have done their bit, but the form line probably says Warnbro for me. But finals are weird things, and as season campaigners, Singleton, the reigning premiers, they won't want to let go of their grip on that trophy easily. So by no means is this a foregone conclusion that Warnbro, but the form line would suggest, and being at home at Curry Street, I'd probably go Warnbro to get through to the next round, the preliminary final. And Singleton and Irwinians will probably be knocked out, unfortunately. But hey, like I said, they're an experienced side, and they're every chance to get through there. But just the form line alone, if I was a betting man, it'd be on Warnbro. The next game, Waruna versus Hall's Head, first versus second, and that is a heavyweight clash. The last time these two teams play, or the only time they've played this season, the other game was washed out. They tied, so we don't know. We've got no form on those two teams. Waruna probably been the steadier of the two sides. They haven't lost too many games. They finished top of the table. They are the minor premiers. And Hall's Head, they've been the dominant batting team this year, no doubt. They've got a lot of runs, and their batting lineup goes very, very deep. They've got some class batting all the way through, and they go all the way. And they've got a very varied bowling lineup as well. Probably a little bit more variation than what Waruna have got, but Waruna's top 4 or 5 players are as good as anything going around in country cricket and probably community cricket across WA with Benny Wright, Jaden LaRosa, Nick Rep. You got Zach Moody, you got Brandon Burt. You got a very, very solid, experienced team with some young guys. Zach Elliott as well. And then you've got the main man who destroyed Country Week, Dan Abel. So the left arm orthodox in finals, he's going to have a big role as well. So Waruna Horsehead, I can't call that at all. The only thing going in Waruna's favour is it's at their house at Waruna, but I've got no idea who wins this one. And the champion team, the Wiley Cup winners, could still come out of this game. Obviously, first and second get the second chance next week. Winner goes through to the grand final. The loser goes through to the preliminary final to take on the winner of the Warnbro Singleton game. So, I'm looking forward to seeing the results. I don't know whether Horsehead will bring their frog box down there at all. It'd be good if they did, because that's the only way we're going to get how to watch that game. Because unfortunately, the COVID regulations say that we can't go anywhere near a cricket ground unless you're part of the official party, I guess, players and probably an immediate guest, i.e. a partner or your kids or something like that. I haven't looked too far into it, but I do know that you're not allowed anywhere near it. So for that one, look, good luck to both teams. It's going to go down to the wire. I can't call it. So, if that's another tie, well, hey, why not join the party? They've had, 5 or 6 this year so far in the competition. Why not have another one? So the A-grade Wiley Cup is still wide open. I think it's going to be an absolute humdinger. And by Saturday night, we're going to know a little bit more about who might have their hands on the old Wiley Cup. B-grade, just as tight and just as interesting and just as exciting a finish to this as well. So first semi-final, we've got Hillman versus Shoalwater. Now, Shoalwater Bay are the form team in B-grade. Yes, Hillman finished top. They finished as the minor premiers, but I tell you what, if ever a team come home with a wet sail, it was Shoalwater Bay. They have smashed at home in the second half of the season and finished second, and they've won games where they've absolutely demolished the team. So this is going to be one hell of a game. You've got Hillman, who've got a lot of experience in their team. They've got a guy that played international cricket for Australia in T20 level, and he's got a couple of centuries this season that have been big and quick and demoralising for the opposition. He's got the ability to do it, because we know he has. Luke Pommersbach, that is, I'm talking about. We know that he could tear an attack apart. Shoalwater know that. It's all on Luke, because I don't think on his day there's anyone good enough that's going to get him out. So it's him getting himself out. But if he turns it on and has a day, it's a day, and he sets the game up. So it'll be interesting to see how that one goes. Shoalwater have got the form batter in the competition in Paul Gravett. He has scored bucket loads of runs this season, 600 odd runs, I believe. I'll just confirm that. But he has scored a truckload of runs this year. Where are we? We've got Paul Gravett. He has scored 693 runs. That's 77. That's from 15 hits this season. So well done, Paul. That is an outstanding season. They've got a very, very good side. They've got a good bowling lineup that goes deep. They've got batting that goes deep. Shoalwater, they're going to be a very, very tough team to beat. Hillman, like I said, they're the minor premiers. They've got a very, very experienced side. And in saying that, a big, massive congratulations to the daddy, the godfather of Hillman Cricket Club, the man who basically started the club or reinvented the club or whatever you want to call it. We've heard the story, which was an amazing one early on in the series here. Troy Lovegrove, 300 games for Hillman Cricket Club. So, mate, fantastic. Well done. I can't call that one. So I'm going to sit on the fence. I'm getting the splinters on the backside. I cannot call that one at all. So, yeah, good luck. Whoever wins that one obviously goes through to the GF, and the loser gets to play again next week with their second chance. The next game, oh, by the way, both these games are being played at Lark Hill. So I guess thank you to Rockingham Mandurah District Cricket Club for not making the finals, I guess, and allowing... well, these sides to play on a premier ground, which is fantastic. North Baldivis versus White Knights Baldivis, the Battle of Baldivis, or the Baldives, as my wife calls it. North Baldivis, they are the reigning champs. They won the competition last year and started like a house on fire, as they did with Hillman, and then they just plateaued out a little bit and probably spluttered a little bit to get through. But they did finish third, and they're in the final. So that's all you've got to do. They've had some big run scorers this year. Their top order has scored a hell of a lot of runs, if not most of them. So they're going to rely heavily on that. And bowling-wise, they've just got a steady bowling lineup that just does their bit, but it's their batting that probably needs to click. And White Knights Baldivis, they've had some huge scores to come in. They've finished... like they won by 196 runs last round, and then the round before that they won by 177 runs. So they've had two big weeks coming in. They're in form. They've got batters in form. In particular, the evergreen, the legend that is Lee McIntosh. He is in some serious form. He's had the Indian Summers of Indian Summers, and being the experienced player that he is, been there, done that. He'll be one to watch out for. So that one there, it's going to be a tight one. And, I might go with the Knights. I might go White Knights Baldivis there, just on form. I just think they're in a bit better shape at this end of the season. And it's this end of the season when you want to be peaking. But, hey, who knows? But if I had to put it on the line, I'll go White Knights Baldivis in that one. We move on to C grade, and we've got South Mandurah versus White Knights Baldivis. Now, White Knights Baldivis, you'll probably find they've got a lot of teams in the finals, strong club, and they've had a very, very solid season themselves. So, anyway, C grade, South Mandurah versus White Knights Baldivis. That's at Falcon Reserve, so they get to play on the turf at Falcon Reserve. I just on form alone there, I'd go South Mandurah. I think the home ground advantage will be something. Unfortunately, they won't be able to get their crowd there. I'd be certain that they would have had a pretty decent home crowd there. But I just think playing at home on the turf, I'm not sure how many games any of the other teams have played on turf this year. South Mandurah would have played a couple. I'm just presuming on the way fixtures have worked out. They get to train on it at least. I know that they've got the pull-out net, they've got the mobile net that they drag out, and they do some training in the middle. So just on that alone, there's a couple of batters that have just hit form. I mean, they have got. Let's get his name right, but where are we? Yeah, so they've got Craig Curtis, who's got 663 runs at 66. That's from 11 hits. So, they've got some runs there. You've got Jaden Bryan, who's coming off 100 and a 70-odd. You've got, Brandon Hill just come off some runs on the week, or 2 weeks ago. But, yeah, they've got a lot of runs up their sleeve, and I just think they might have a little bit too much for White Knights Baldivis at Falcon Reserve. And in the other game, North Baldivis versus Shoalwater Bay, and that's at Wallard Primary School. I can't go past North Baldivis there. They've got my main man, Vikas Kansra. He is in serious form. He's hit 2 centuries in the last 2 rounds. He's got 692 runs as well as 19 wickets this year. My main man, he's going to do it, and he's going to do it in style, and he's going to do it aggressively, and he's going to do it quickly. I think North Baldivis will be too strong in that one there. But again, finals, who knows? We'll move on to D grade action. And the first game at Purewood Synthetic, one of the grounds at the back there. Halls Head versus Warnborough. In D grade, Halls Head have dominated that competition there, and I can't see I can't see them not winning that one. They've got a very, very strong batting lineup there, and they'll probably make too many runs for Warnbro there. So I'll go Hall's Head in that one. And Hillman versus White Knights Baldivis. That's at Shoalwater Oval. In that one there, ooh, geez, that's a tough one. I might have to sit on the fence there. Let me try to just get something. So we've got Hillman versus White Knights Baldivis. Just on the last round. And what about the round before? Ooh, dearie me. Dearie me. This is a tough one. I tell you what, White Knights Baldivis. I think they're in a bit better form. The last 3 or 4 rounds, they've come through. They've had a tie, I know, with Hall's Head, but they've got a few more runs on the board. They've probably been a little bit more impressive in the run home. They're probably in a little bit better form. So let's go White Knights Baldivis in that one there. So it'll be Hall's Head, White Knights Baldivis, the winners there. I think. I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm not a betting man. I'm not going to put anything on it. But if I was, Hall's Head and White Knights Baldivis. Let's go to E grade. And we knew these guys. Well, D grade we knew quite early. E grade we had to get one result to see who was going to be in the finals. But anyway, White Knights Baldivis versus Mandurah, and that's at Paul Garnett Reserve. I'm just going to go with the top team. I think White Knights Baldivis, they'll have depth, they'll have strength, and you're not top for no reason there. So I'll go White Knights in that one. And Hall's Head versus Shoalwater, and that's at Peelwood Synthetic. One of the ones out the back there as well. And just on ladder position, just on form, I'll go Hall's Head, the home team, to take the chocolates there and get through to the preliminary final. And we get to the last grade, and that's F grade. And we have White Knights Baldivis versus Hillman. I know Hillman they've cruised it through the last few weeks. They've literally played friendly cricket. They've retired people, all sorts of things, just to make sure they get a game. And they've cruised through to this stage. But in saying that, so have White Knights Baldivis, and that's why they're on top of the table. Maybe just on hardened form, just the fact that they've won games a bit harder, and they are top, so they're probably just that smidge better. They've performed a tiny little bit better. We'll go White Knights there, but I wouldn't be surprised if Hillman did get up in this one, because like I said, I think they've kept a lot of their powder dry. I don't think they've shown everything that they've got. So you never know. And we have Warnbro versus Hall's Head, and that's at Curry Street on the Synthetic out there. And I'll just go the team that finished high, which is Warnbro. So I think Warnbro will get through there. So that's a quick wrap up of what the finals are going to look like this Saturday. Good luck to every team that's in it, and congratulations again for getting this far. Finals are amazing. They're exciting. They test your nerves. They test your skill. They test everything. But I tell you what, they are what makes Australian sport fantastic. It's the fact that we've got a final system. That's what we do in most sports. The European model is basically you finish top, you win, that's it, done. They probably play a few more games, but we've got this final system, and like it or not, that's what we've got. And what it does build is excitement and keeps everyone involved. And like I've said the whole way through, really, you've just got to get to the finals. Yes, you get home ground advantage, but it's not as if you've got 60,000 sitting on the outer, cheering you on. You've normally got 6 people and a dog there, so it's more probably understanding your home ground conditions. But other than that, it's going to be tight no matter what. It's amazing what happens in finals. You see the scores every single year in every grade of cricket you play. There are stories galore of teams that were winning and lost, and teams that had no hope and won. And who's going to be the match winner? Who's going to be the one that's going to take the game by the horns and say, right, I'm going to win this game? Who's going to be inspired by, the king, the great man, who did it time and time and time again for Australia? He just said, right, I'm going to win this game for Australia. I am going to do it. So give me that ball. I am going to win this game, and he did. Think Adelaide, 2004, I think it was. You remember the great Adelaide. we had no hope of winning that game. It was never going to happen. There are two people that believed it, and that was Ricky Ponting and Shane Warne. Coming into the last day, he bowled unchanged from one end and just basically bowled England out and gave us a chance to chase it down. And the other great man, Mike Hussey, was there at the end to guide us to victory in a game that we shouldn't have won. But the only reason we won it was because that man said, come with me. I'll pick another game, semi-final World Cup 99 against South Africa. We shouldn't have won that game. We just shouldn't have won that game. But he decided, nah, I'm going to win it. And sure enough, he bowled a ball to Herschel Gibbs. That was the equal of the Gatting ball. He got Gary Kirsten out, and he got Cronje. That was lucky. That come off his boot. He didn't hit that. But, hey, it happens. But basically, it was the pressure. It was everything that he did. The theatre. He just took the game and won the game. So who's going to be that man for your team this week? Because this is where the performances count. This is where your wickets and runs really count. Because you're either in or you're not. You either stay in the finals or you're out. So this is where it counts. So it'll be amazing to see, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the results. I'd love to have actually gone and done a bit of a drive around this Saturday, but not allowed to. So they're the times we live in, and hopefully this is the last time we're ever going to do this rubbish. Now, the grand final of the ladies T20 comp, the Beyond Bank Ladies T20 League. Thank you very much for the support, Beyond Bank. They're proud supporters of the Women's League and getting behind women's sport. And we're through to the grand final between South Mandurah and Halls Head. They're the ones that got through the semis and got through. And I know Mandurah, they lost 2 games in a row to be knocked out. And I know some of the ladies, they're heavily invested. And I know some were very, very sad and needed some time to get over it. And that's the sort of stuff we love in team sport, that it means something. It's not, yes, it's fun and it's a jolly and all that sort of stuff, but at the end of the day, it all means something. And, you don't want to see anyone lose, but I enjoyed hearing that it meant that much to someone. And so, look, bad luck to those that missed out, but, good luck to South Mandurah and Halls Head. The ladder doesn't lie, the results don't lie. The 2 best teams, they've got through. And from what I understand, I'm pretty sure that Halls Head are going to set up their frog box there at Falcon Reserve. So you'll be able to watch that game, ball by ball, on Halls Head's Facebook page. So tune in from 9 o'clock. That's when the first ball is bowled. They get their game done and dusted very early on a Sunday morning. But it'll be a great spectacle, and it's just unfortunate that we can't get a crowd there, because I'm sure the girls would have attracted a good crowd, and they deserve it for their work that they've done this year. So look, good luck to both teams. I can't call that. I don't know enough about how the 2 teams have gone, but I do know that the 2 best teams are there because they are in the grand final. So good luck to all the ladies there. Well done to everyone involved in this season. That just got bigger and bigger, and I look forward to seeing what the next evolution of the Women's League looks like next year. Look out for some hardball cricket. I'm pretty sure that's going to get over the line. So that there is pretty much the preview of the upcoming round of, the finals. It's not a round, it's the finals. We are at the business end. This is where it all counts. The finals of the 2021-22 Peel Cricket Association season. Semi-finals and grand final, obviously, of the Beyond Bank Ladies T20 League. So good luck to everyone there. I hope you've enjoyed that little preview. We'll be back after this to wrap up this shorter version of the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show, proudly supported by Retrovision, Everlast Sports Drinks, and ESA Sport. We'll be back very, very soon. Welcome back, everyone. We are on the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show, proudly supported by these fantastic people behind me here, Retrovision, ESA Sport, and Everlast Sports Drinks. As I mentioned in the intro, was a little bit different, but I just felt I had to. It's probably a little bit cathartic for me to be able to just, I don't know, get out there in words how much the great man meant to me. And I'm sure there's a hell of a lot of people out there that are feeling the same. I know because I've seen it online. I mean, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, it just blew up on the weekend. And like most people on Friday night, I thought, nah, that's not right. Not after. I mean, you know, Rod Marsh is a massive part of the fabric of Australian cricket. You know, Boulderley, Court Marsh. We've got the Lily Marsh stand at the Wacker ground. You know, Rod Marsh's name is stamped on world cricket, let alone Australian cricket, from his role with the Cricket Academy when it was based in Adelaide, to what he did to English cricket and really got that 2005 team. He built it. He went over there, he got headhunted, and he built that team. They basically took our academy and built and set it over there. I mean, England, they were desperate to be better. So what they did at one stage, they sent all their top cricket people, they sent them all around the world. So we had people that were working for Cricket Australia or Cricket New South Wales and wherever. They were ECB employees. They were doing like a secondment. Some went to New Zealand, some went to the West Indies, some went to India, and they just took all the intellect and brought it back to England. And they, from 2005 to about 2008, 9, they were a hell of a side. I mean, other than coming here and we gave them a touch-up, but they also gave us a hell of a lot of touch-up. And if you remember, you know, they beat us. The only time they won the Ashes was out here. Yeah, out here. In that period, that's what I meant. Where was I going? So Rod Marsh, I mean, that was sad. That was sad. He was, that was sudden as well. Very, very sudden. And, you know, there's a lot of his contemporaries that are still here with us, and they're still healthy and they're still breathing. And there's no doubt that his state funeral, which I believe will be held at the Wacker ground. Just wait for more details on that. But that's going to be a big event. And in front of the Lily Marsh, I mean, he had a grandstand named after him at our most famous ground, which is the Wacker ground. So that was bad. That was sad enough and bad enough. And then Friday night to get the news on Shane Warne was just, it was too much. It was just too much. Look, I think and again, I'm not the only one. There's so much that's out there. There's going to be books. There's going to be, well, there is a movie. I mean, that was why he was in Thailand as part of, he was doing some stuff for his movie that's coming out. And I think I'll do something that'll, and it'll just be me. Probably won't be with this on, but just something that reflects how big an influence he had on my life. And I just think it's important to get that out. You've probably worked it out by now. Cricket has been a massive role, big part of my life. It's been me. It's defined me. And he had a big role in that. So, I just think there's not enough that's been done yet, and I think there'll be a little bit more. But in saying that, there's going to be a lot of history written on this weekend, and I can't emphasise enough how privileged you all are that are playing this weekend. There's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 sides, 26 sides, including the ladies. 26 teams from within the Peel Cricket Association have the privilege to go out on Saturday and Sunday and possibly play one more game, or another 2 or 3, you know, depending on how you go in the finals. But it is a privilege, and if you learned anything last week is that don't take any moment for granted. So go out there and play like it was your last game. Play Saturday or Sunday like it's the last game of cricket you're ever going to play. Don't leave anything behind, and let's really see amazing games of cricket throughout every single match that's played. Let's see some performances that are just mind-blowing. You know, I want to write about it. I want to talk about it. I want to celebrate you guys because you guys have been absolutely fantastic, and I still think the best is yet to come. So this has been a slightly abbreviated version, a slightly weird and melancholy sort of version or edition of the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show. Thank you very much for your patronage. Good luck to everyone playing this weekend, and see you all next week.